Welcome back to Top 10 America Beyond, the channel where we dive deep into the stories shaping our continent and beyond. Today we're exploring the exciting shifts in North American energy and trade, focusing on Canada's bold moves to expand its horizons. Canadian leadership has signaled that a proposal for a new oil pipeline is highly likely to move forward. Look, the bottom line is a new East-West Coast pipeline in Canada is good for Canadians. It's good for world markets in that we have access to more supply. But for the first time, Canadian liquefied natural gas is heading overseas, marking a game-changing moment in global energy flows. As we count down these top developments, remember to hit that like button if you're excited about North America's energy future. Drop a comment with your thoughts on trade diversification, and subscribe to Top 10 America Beyond for more insightful breakdowns like this one.
Top 10 America Beyond.
Number 10. The proposal for a new East-West oil pipeline. In a significant announcement, Canadian officials confirmed the high likelihood of advancing a new pipeline connecting Alberta's vast oil fields to the Pacific coast. This east-west route promises to enhance access to global markets, providing Canadians with better economic opportunities and ensuring a steadier supply for international buyers. With nearly 97% of Canada's oil and gas exports traditionally directed southward, this project aims to open new doors, boosting production and prices in a way that benefits everyone involved. It's a strategic step that underscores the importance of infrastructure in fostering growth. Transitioning from this foundational proposal, we see how it's intertwined with another breakthrough in energy exports. What do you think? Could this pipeline truly transform Canada's role in the world energy scene? From my perspective, embracing such innovations reminds us that sustainable economic progress comes from bold investments in our natural resources, creating jobs and stability for generations to come. Number 9. First ever overseas shipment of Canadian liquefied natural gas. Hold on to your seats, folks. This is the moment Canada burst onto the global LNG stage, like a superstar making a grand entrance. On June 30th, 2025, the LNG Canada project in Kitimat, British Columbia, loaded and dispatched its very first export cargo aboard the tanker Gaslow Glasgow, bound for eager buyers in Asia, marking the nation's historic debut as an LNG exporter after years of anticipation. Just imagine this groundbreaking shipment, departing amid cheers from industry leaders, symbolizes a $40 billion triumph, the largest private investment ever in Canada, transforming vast natural gas reserves from Western Canada's fields into supercooled LNG ready for international voyage. With Train 1 now operational since late June, the facility kicked off at full throttle, boasting an initial capacity of 14 million tons per year, enough to power millions of homes, while slashing global reliance on dirtier fuels. But the buzz doesn't stop there. Shell's LNG outlook 2025 predicts a 60% spike in global demand by 2040, driven by Asia's economic surge, making this timing impeccable for Canada to snag a slice of that pie and diversify beyond its traditional southern markets. Picture the Gaslow Glasgow slicing through Pacific waters, carrying not just 170,000 cubic meters of LNG, but also dreams of energy independence, bypassing US routes entirely and heading straight to ports like South Korea or Japan, where natural gas is the hero in the fight against coal. This isn't some fleeting event, it's the spark igniting Canada's potential as a top-tier supplier. With future expansions eyeing a doubling of output to meet soaring Asian needs amid a global trade that's already hit 411 million tons in 2024. As the tanker vanished over the horizon on July 1st, it left behind a trail of excitement, jobs booming in British Columbia, billions in revenue on the horizon, and a fresh chapter in North American energy that could stabilize prices and foster cleaner skies worldwide. What a ride! Canada's finally in the LNG game, and the world is watching with bated breath. Building on this export achievement, Canada's response to trade challenges highlights a focus on long-term strategy over short-term reactions. How might this first shipment influence global energy prices in the coming years? Number 8. Canada's strategic response to trade pressures. Picture this: amid escalating US tariff threats in mid-2025, Canada isn't backing down, but playing a savvy long game that's as calculated as a high-stakes chess match. With President Trump proposing a hefty 35% tariff on Canadian imports, unless a new deal is inked by August 1st, Ottawa, under Prime Minister Mark Carney, has opted for measured diplomacy over knee-jerk reactions, dropping its digital services tax on June 30th to reignite stalled negotiations and, instead of fiery rhetoric, Canada is bolstering its steel sector with extended tariff rate quotas starting August 1st, exempting free trade partners but targeting overcapacity from nations like China, while maintaining 25% counter tariffs on US metals during a 30-day talks window. This restrained approach includes restrained retaliation, industry support, and coalition building with allies, as outlined in think tank recommendations, aiming to fortify economic foundations without derailing the $762 billion bilateral trade flow from 2024. By fast-tracking energy diversification, like ramping up LNG exports to Asia, Canada's weaving in leverage could reshape North American dynamics, turning pressure into a catalyst for resilience and innovation. It's a masterclass in strategic patience, where infrastructure investments and quiet negotiations pave the way for balanced partnerships that benefit workers and businesses alike. As deadlines loom, with Canada's internal July 21st review in play, this response highlights a nation turning trade headwinds into tailwinds for growth. Docs.com/CA. This response naturally leads us to the specifics of the pipeline project itself. Do you believe diversification like this could lead to more stable trade partnerships across borders? In my view, this approach teaches us the value of resilience. By planning ahead and investing wisely, nations can turn challenges into opportunities that benefit their people and economies alike. Number 7. Details of the cross-country oil pipeline. Picture this: the Trans Mountain Expansion Pipeline, a vital artery stretching over 1,150 kilometers from Edmonton, Alberta's oil-rich heartland, straight to Burnaby's bustling Pacific ports in British Columbia, revolutionizing how Canadian crude hits global waves. As of July 2025, this engineering marvel boasts a pumped-up capacity of 8,000 barrels per day, tripling its original flow since commercial operations kicked off in May 24, unlocking overseas markets like Asia and dodging traditional US. Energy insiders rave about its potential to handle massive volumes, with record shipments already fueling a $1.25 billion payout to the federal government this year, thanks to savvy refinancing and high utilization rates hovering near 96% forecasts. But the thrill doesn't stop there. Plans are brewing for further boosts by early 2027, promising even smoother efficiency and premium pricing for Canada's black gold. It's not just pipes, it's a gateway to economic empowerment, weaving through rugged terrains while prioritizing environmental audits to ensure sustainable strides forward. As tankers load up for distant shores, this pipeline isn't merely transporting oil, it's propelling Canada into a bolder, more diversified energy era, sparking jobs, innovation, and global connections that could redefine North American trade flows for decades. As we delve deeper, the LNG project complements this by expanding Canada's footprint in natural gas. What advantages do you see in connecting inland resources directly to coastal export points? Number 6. The LNG Canada project in depth. As of mid-2025, the LNG Canada initiative has hit key operational strides, starting production in late June and dispatching its inaugural export cargo on July 1st to eager markets in Asia. This landmark $40 billion endeavor, spearheaded in Kitimat, British Columbia, kicks off with a robust capacity of 14 million metric tons annually, setting the stage for future expansions that could amplify output significantly. By transforming abundant natural gas reserves into export-ready LNG, the project not only bolsters Canada's supply chain, but also supports international efforts toward cleaner energy sources, highlighting advancements in efficient liquefaction technology and sustainable practices. This brings us to why these developments are timelier than ever. How do you think projects like LNG Canada will impact environmental transitions worldwide? Personally, witnessing these advancements reinforces that collaboration in energy infrastructure can drive positive change, helping communities thrive while meeting global needs responsibly. Number 5. Why these shifts matter right now. Imagine a world where one market holds the keys to your economic kingdom. That's been Canada's reality for decades. With a staggering 97% of its crude oil exports funneling straight to the United States, as recently as 2023, a trend that persists into 2025 with minimal change despite growing global appetites. But here's where the excitement builds. These bold energy shifts aren't just timely, they're a thrilling lifeline of volatile landscape. Picture the global LNG trade exploding to 411.24 million tons in 2024 alone, a solid 2.4% leap fueled by surging demand from Asia's powerhouse economies like China and India, who are ditching coal for cleaner fuels at breakneck speed. For Canada, this isn't mere coincidence, it's a golden opportunity to shatter vulnerabilities like suppressed prices from an oversaturated US market and limited production growth. By prioritizing trade diversification right now, Ottawa is syncing perfectly with ambitious visions of morphing into an energy titan, especially as experts forecast a whopping 60% surge in worldwide LNG demand by 2040, skyrocketing to between 630 and 718 million tons annually. This pivot promises not only fresh revenue rivers, but also fortified market resilience against uncertainties, turning potential pitfalls into platforms for prosperity. It's like watching a chess master reposition pieces for a checkmate, strategic, calculated, and utterly captivating. As Canada taps into this momentum, it could redefine North American energy flows, creating ripple effects that boost jobs, innovation, and sustainability across borders. Moving forward, let's examine how this pivot toward Asia is unfolding. Is the timing of these changes coincidental or perfectly aligned with market trends? From where I stand, this moment underscores the thrill of adaptation in our interconnected world. By seizing these shifts, we unlock doors to shared growth, reminding us that foresight and resource management can light the path to a brighter, more balanced future for all. Number 4. Pivoting to Asian markets. Dive into the electrifying pivot that's reshaping Canada's energy playbook, a strategic surge toward Asia's booming LNG scene, where demand is skyrocketing and opportunities abound. As of 2025, Northeast Asia's LNG imports are on a meteoric rise, projected to hit an impressive 225.8 million metric tons this year alone, up from 218.7 million in 2024, driven by powerhouses like Japan, South Korea, and China aggressively transitioning to natural gas to slash coal dependency and curb emissions. Just look at the latest figures. Japan pulled in 4.66 million tons in May 2025, while China grabbed 4.84 million, underscoring a relentless hunger for cleaner fuels amid economic growth and environmental pledges. Canada's ace in the hole. Its Pacific perch in British Columbia, where LNG tankers zip to Asian ports in a mere 10 days, half the 20-day haul from the US. Gulf Coast via the Panama Canal, slashing costs, reducing transit emissions, and ensuring fresher, more reliable deliveries that outpace competitors. This isn't just logistics, it's a game changer, positioning Canadian exports to capture a slice of the pie as global LNG demand is forecasted to balloon by 60% by 2040, largely propelled by Asia's industrial boom and net zero ambitions. Fresh off the docks, LNG Canada's first cargo set sail for South Korea in early July 2025, marking Canada's triumphant entry as an LNG exporter and forging ties that could funnel billions in revenue while aiding Asia's shift to lower carbon. Imagine the ripple effects. Faster shipments mean competitive pricing, stronger alliances, and a reduced global carbon footprint as natural gas displaces dirtier alternatives in everything from power plants to manufacturing hubs. By leaning into this pivot, Canada isn't just selling gas, it's building bridges to a sustainable future, turning geographic smarts into economic gold and inspiring a wave of innovation in cross-continental trade. As these vessels cut through the waves, they're carrying more than fuel. They're delivering promise for a greener, more interconnected world. This pivot alters the dynamics of negotiations significantly. What role do you envision for Canadian LNG in Asia mix over the next decade? From where I stand, this expansion highlights the power of geographic advantages. Leveraging them wisely can create win-win scenarios that boost prosperity on both sides of the Pacific. Number 3. Impacts on trade negotiations. Imagine a world where pipelines and LNG terminals aren't just engineering feats, they're game changers in high-stakes boardrooms. By rolling out real infrastructure like the LNG Canada project, which kicked off its first exports in mid-25, boosting Western Canada's natural gas shipments by a whopping 20%, Canada is arming itself with genuine leverage in trade talks with the US. No more pie-in-the-sky ideas. These tangible assets, including proposed east-west oil pipelines aiming to lift crude prices by $4 to $7 per barrel, let Canada redirect supplies to booming Asian markets, where LNG demand is skyrocketing toward a 60% global jump by 2040. This shift flips the script on dependencies. Canada's oil fills 20% of US demand, and 99% of America's imported natural gas comes from up north, creating a more balanced power dynamic. Suddenly, negotiations aren't lopsided, they're about equitable, long-term deals that foster mutual growth and stability amid escalating tariffs. As diversification takes root, supported by integrated North American grids and pipelines, both nations stand to gain from resilient partnerships that buffer against market volatility and secure energy futures. How might these diversified exports reshape the flow of North American trade discussions in the years ahead? From my viewpoint, this evolution shows that smart infrastructure investments aren't just about economics, they're blueprints for building trust and prosperity across borders, reminding us that true strength lies in adaptability and shared success. Number 2. US. Energy landscape and potential risks. The United States leads as the world's top oil producer, hitting a record 13.4 million barrels per day in July 2025, per the Energy Information Administration. Yet challenges in building pipeline capacity persist, and stable imports from Canada remain crucial for refining needs in regions like the Midwest and Northeast. If supplies diversify, refiners might face higher costs, potentially affecting fuel prices and industries such as manufacturing and construction. Moreover, Canada's scaled-up LNG routes could influence US export plans, like those in Alaska, which lag behind. This leads us to our top spot, where we explore the full potential of these shifts. Do you think US production records will hold strong amid these evolving dynamics? In reflecting on this, I believe it underscores the importance of interdependence. Strong neighbors build stronger continents when they collaborate on energy security and innovation. Number 1. Potential impacts on export ambitions and broader trade context. Canada's advancements, from LNG routes undercutting delayed US projects to navigating tariffs on metals like copper at 50%, steel, aluminum, and lumber, are reshaping the landscape. Recent concessions, such as dropping a digital services tax worth over $1 billion Canadian dollars annually, aim to foster dialogue, while proposals for security pacts seek lasting stability. With deadlines like July 21st for internal reviews and August 1st for broader resolutions, the emphasis is on resilience and integration. Over 60 years of close partnerships, from foundational agreements to modern frameworks, face tests, but measured strategies could preserve this vital bond. Ultimately, as natural gas flows westward and oil finds new paths, North America's energy future looks brighter, with Canada emerging stronger on the global stage. But wrapping up this countdown on Top 10 America Beyond, we've seen how these developments are redefining possibilities. What surprises you most about Canada's energy pivot? Share below. And personally, as we close, this journey reminds me that true progress lies in adaptability. By embracing change and diversification, we not only secure our resources but also inspire a more connected, prosperous world for all. Thanks for watching Top 10 America Beyond. See you next time.